Good evening, I'm Adrienne Arsenault. Andrew is on assignment tonight. From old names on buildings to new accountability, demands for change.
Now have to say in clear, unequivocal language, yes, we are responsible for the genocide, and this is what we're going to do to make it right.
At every level across Canada. Also tonight, why there's new advice on second doses.
The efficacy of the vaccination is even greater.
Taking stock of being Black in business, products on the shelf, people on the boards.
There's not a more significant role that can have an impact for change.
And a COVID-inspired aid for vulnerable hospital staff.
When you think about it, it is kind of surprising that we didn't think about it before.
Canadian ingenuity in the ICU. This is The National. The results of a ground survey at the site of a former residential school may be preliminary, but the pain newly exposed by the news is deep and certain. And the reported discovery of the remains of 215 children has unleashed new versions of long-standing demands often unmet for accountability and for change. Like renaming schools and roads named after architects of the residential school system and pressing the Catholic Church to apologize for the part it played. But at the sites of former schools themselves, it is a search some are calling for other children who never made it home. Cameron McIntosh shows us the questions that sting at two former residential schools in Manitoba.
Off the Trans-Canada Highway, that eagle stands in silent tribute to those who survived and those who did not.
That whole area needs to be taken a look at.
The Portage la Prairie Residential School sits upon what is now Long Plain First Nations Kishkimakwa Urban Reserve, a National Historic Site, one of the few places where a residential school building still stands intact. But it doesn't tell the whole story.
Over here, these spruce trees, are some, suspicion there might be.
Dennis Meaches is chief.
There's always been that sense that there were unmarked graves, and it's a crime scene.
So far, radar scans haven't found a grave here. Meaches is determined to have the entire area examined.
We'd like to do more work and research in that particular area, and have the land, of course, cleared of any unmarked graves.
An hour west, there's no wondering. Sioux Valley First Nation has evidence of unmarked remains near what was once the Brandon Residential School.
Our investigation has identified 104 potential graves.
Only 78 show up in official records. Among those unaccounted for, Jennifer Rattray's great-aunt and uncle.
This is clearly wrong, and we need to fix this.
Over a century, more than 4,100 students are known to have died in residential schools.
Those children are our relatives and our elders and survivors.
Stephanie Scott for the Center for Truth and Reconciliation says their research shows churches and government bickered over costs of returning dead children.
So they ended up in paupers' graves, unmarked, unknown.
Ottawa says more than $30 million has been marked to help with research and searches. So far, very little of that money has actually been spent. Cameron McIntosh, CBC News, Winnipeg.
Over the last few days, a lot of residential school survivors have told their stories. Today, Manitoba Senator Mary Jane McCallum shared hers, which started when she was taken to a residential school at the age of 5.
One of my most persistent emotions in residential school was overwhelming loneliness and the bewildering feeling of abandonment. It was so unlike my family. I came to realize that abandonment by my parent was not the issue, but that I was abandoned by the system, whether it was the church or the government who initiated and perpetuated the kidnappings. This is Canada. Our hearts are broken. Canada is broken.
You heard the senator mention the church and the government. It's from those two bodies that so many are now demanding accountability for their roles in the residential school system. Olivia Stefanovic has that part of the story.
The calls for action are growing louder.
A lot of my friends didn't make it. They couldn't take the cultural shock. and the abuse they suffered in residential school.
Survivor Bill Namagoose wants the federal government to push the Roman Catholic Church for accountability.
This is technically a genocidal event that's happened for a few hundred years in Canada, and the Pope has to acknowledge that.
In 2017, the Prime Minister asked Pope Francis for an apology.
I then told him about how important it is for Canadians that we move forward on a real reconciliation with Indigenous peoples.
But months later came word the Pope would not give an apology. There was no explanation.
The Catholic Church is doing a disservice to Indigenous people around the world.
But now the federal government says it will renew its request of the Vatican.
This is what one of the calls to action of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, and we want to do them all.
It doesn't get the government off the hook either for responsibility.
The chief commissioner of the National Inquiry into Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women and Girls says the fact that the church ran most of the schools doesn't excuse Ottawa.
I think that the federal government now have to say in clear, unequivocal language, yes, we are responsible for the genocide, and this is what we're going to do to make it right.
Order.
Tonight, in a debate in the House of Commons, the Prime Minister acknowledged the great harm done and the loss of life at residential schools.
They would have been elders, knowledge keepers, and community leaders. They are not. And that is the fault of Canada.
So, Olivia, what is the Catholic Church saying now?
Adrian, it isn't saying anything about an official apology, and the Canadian Conference of Catholic Bishops did not respond to our interview request. But in a statement, it describes the discovery of remains at the former Kamloops Indian Residential School as a tragedy, and says it walks side by side with Indigenous communities. And besides from an official apology, Adrian, many people are calling for the Catholic orders to hand over all residential school documents. And this week, the Sisters of St. Anne said it is collaborating with the Kamloops First Nation to provide any records and information from the former Kamloops Indian Residential School from its archives.
Okay, we'll stay on top of that, Olivia. Thank you. A man who knows a lot about the search for accountability is Murray Sinclair. Today, the former senator who chaired the Truth and Reconciliation Commission posted his thoughts. Here's an excerpt.
I have been inundated with phone calls from survivors. By the dozens, if not hundreds now, they've called me, often just to cry, just to tell us, I told you so, I told you that this had happened, and now we're beginning to see it. And in their voices I can hear not only the pain and the anguish, but also the anger that they were feeling about the fact that nobody believed them when they told those stories. And in addition to that, I can also hear their sense that they've lost some hope. They've lost the faint glimmer of hope that maybe the children who they knew did not return maybe had gone away to live somewhere else and still might be found.
This is a traumatizing time for many people who went to residential schools or who are affected by them. There is support available through the National Indian Residential School Crisis Line. You can access emotional and crisis referral services by calling the 24-hour number on your screen. Now, for some, this story has turned the focus back on the architects of the residential school system itself. Battles to strip their names from structures across Canada have been ongoing. Aaron Collins looks at how one of those battles just ended.
Change is in the air at this Calgary junior high, the flag at half-mast in memory of children found buried at the site of a former residential school in Kamloops. Orange shirts worn to promote awareness of those schools, easy to see, replacing ones bearing the name of Hector Louis Langevin. Langevin, one of the creators of the residential school system, and until today, the person this school was named after.
We need to support our Indigenous community and try and right our past wrongs.
It took 4 years for these students to get the name changed to Riverside.
And I think it is our job as settlers to amplify the voices of Indigenous peoples because they have been oppressed for like hundreds of years.
Langevin's name was removed from this nearby bridge, too. It's now known as Reconciliation Bridge.
So things are moving forward, and that's a good thing, only because things were so bad before that, movement is good.
Across Canada, the architects of the residential school system are easy to find, too easy for many. Names etched on statues, schools, and signs that many would like erased. Nowhere is that push more evident than in the birthplace of Confederation. A statue of Canada's first Prime Minister no longer welcome, moved due to Sir John A. Macdonald's role in creating residential schools.
It's a story that we've known in our communities across Canada of the atrocities and the genocidal effect that the residential schools have had on our communities.
Back in Calgary, that name change carries weight.
It does take allies for us to dismantle these systems, and so to have the parents and their children be involved with this is very important.
Hope that talk of change for Canada's First Nations may finally be more than just words. Aaron Collins, CBC News, Calgary.
And another significant name change was announced today, introducing the CFL's Edmonton Elks.
We definitely did the right thing. It was needed. It was probably a few years overdue, to be honest.
The team dropped its original name last year over growing concern it perpetuated racist stereotypes. One sponsor had even threatened to walk if it wasn't changed. 40,000 people voted in the renaming process. To the sexual misconduct crisis inside Canada's military now, and a new high-profile call for change. It's being called the most comprehensive look at the military justice system in decades. Here's Ashley Burke now with its findings and what it means for victims of sexual misconduct.
His time in the military, something retired Corporal Colton Skabinski would rather forget.
I've been through 3 investigations to try and solve my case and get justice, and I've seen the chain of command medal every single time.
Skabinski said that when he was serving at CFB Borden in 2013, he was attacked and raped in the shower. He says when his sergeant major learned what happened, he threatened him not to report it. Years later, when Skabinski finally broke his silence, he says a military police branch treated him like he was the problem.
They never laid charges, and right from the get-go, they told me the investigation likely wouldn't succeed.
This report comes at a critical time.
A new report today calls for change. Retired Supreme Court Justice Morris Fish issuing 107 recommendations. Among them, turning sexual assault cases over to civilian courts until the forces gets their own justice system in order. Fish said, "It would be, in my view, inappropriate for the military justice system to continue to investigate or prosecute alleged sexual assaults until it extends to all victims the protections afforded by the Declaration of Victims' Rights."
This is a course of action that has a great deal of merit, but it is complex, and so we need to do it right.
Ottawa so far non-committal, though the military today did say that it would look at all the recommendations and implement them as much as possible.
This goes to the very heart of the ongoing credibility and legitimacy of the military justice system.
It's not
For Skabinski, the changes are long overdue.
It's a step in the right direction. I did not have rights as a victim when I went through this process.
The Liberals say they will come up with a plan to respond to Fish's report by the fall. Though they might have other priorities by then, Canada could be in the middle of a federal election. Ashley Burke, CBC News, Ottawa.
Let's turn to the COVID-19 story, where Canada is seeing real progress. The pandemic may not be out, but it is definitely down significantly. These are the daily new cases in Canada since the third wave began. Daily infections have declined more than 70% since they peaked in mid-April, with no sign of stopping. At the same time, the vaccination rate has climbed steadily. Now, nearly 60% of Canadians have at least one dose, encouraging. But Canada's Chief Public Health Officer has warned that for now, keeping infections down still means public health measures and restrictions. Now, Manitoba became the first province to allow a shot of AstraZeneca to be followed up by an mRNA vaccine like Pfizer or Moderna. And now an independent advisory body has given that practice the green light. Vicadopia shows us how in the race to immunize, mixing and matching could give provinces a real edge.
More Canadians may soon be able to mix or match their second doses. The recommendation from the National Advisory Committee on Immunization says if you've had AstraZeneca, you can get either mRNA vaccine as your booster. They've already recommended those two vaccines can be swapped with each other for their second dose.
Recommendations undergo evolution over time, and this is the next stage of the increased understanding of our vaccines. But I think it is good news that people now have the choice.
The decision is supported by limited but persuasive research from Spain. People who got a Pfizer shot after AstraZeneca actually had more than double the immune response than those who got 2 AstraZeneca shots in other trials.
The efficacy of the vaccination is even greater, probably because you're recruiting or targeting or activating different arms of the immune system. So there's sort of a synergy between the two different types of vaccines.
The decision will come as a relief for people worried about rare blood clots with AstraZeneca. But not everyone is keen to mix. He got Moderna, she got AstraZeneca.
There seemed to be rushing to make the decision for mixing and matching.
Manitoba announced yesterday it would allow mixing vaccines. Other provinces are expected to follow. Germany, France, and the UK have been doing so safely for months. With fewer AstraZeneca doses coming into Canada, allowing interchangeability also reduces the odds of people missing a second dose.
Yeah, okay, we should try to stick with same vaccine. But if the system fails, what we don't want to do is turn somebody away coming for their second dose when we don't have to.
The hope is more choice means more fully vaccinated Canadians. Vic Adopia, CBC News, Toronto.
On the heels of NACI's new guidance, Alberta today announced plans to supercharge the rollout of second doses.
Every Albertan who has received their first dose of vaccine will be able to book their second dose appointment by the end of June.
So appointments will still be prioritized according to when Albertans receive their first dose, starting with those who got the shot in March or earlier. Turning now to real estate and efforts to rein in a red-hot market. Well, today, new mortgage stress test rules kicked in. For some, buying a home was already hard. Peter Armstrong explains why for them, the new measures will make it even harder.
As you can see, we're wearing gloves. Everything's been sanitized once.
It's a weird time to buy a house. And if it wasn't stressful before the pandemic, it's reached a whole new level of anxiety. Virtual showings, multiple bids, and prices that just defy logic.
I think our real estate agent messaged us shortly after we put in our bid that there was something like 10 other offers.
Neil Pettit is a college professor in Windsor, Ontario. He and his fiancée don't live in a big city with a crazy real estate market. They make good salaries and paid off their debts, and yet...
I think the winning bid was like $100,000 over. And bid after bid we lost, competing against at least 10, it seemed like, at least 10 other beds.
Across the country, the average price of a home is up 31% since this time last year. And everyone's concerned, buyers, agents, governments, even the Bank of Canada.
The biggest domestic vulnerabilities are those linked to imbalances in the housing market and high household indebtedness.
One potential solution is to take some steam out of the market by making it harder to get in. Buyers will have to prove they can make mortgage payments at an interest rate of 5.25%, regardless of how low their actual mortgage rate really is.
It reduces the overall that you can afford by about 5%. Is this a material change? Yeah, it is, especially for first-time home buyers.
So for now, Pettit and his fiancée are stepping away from the overheated market.
It was disappointment after disappointment until finally we just gave up. And that's, now we just sit back and wait and see what happens.
And that's what policymakers are hoping, that by making it harder for anyone to get into the market now, it may get easier to buy a house down the road. Peter Armstrong, CBC News, Toronto.
The world's biggest meat packer has become the latest target of cyber criminals. JBS says the ransomware attack came from Russia and disrupted operations in Canada, Australia, and the U.S. The FBI is investigating. Hackers have targeted other major companies recently, including one of the U.S.'s largest pipelines just last month. For the first time since the Tulsa massacre 100 years ago, a sitting U.S. president visited the site where a white supremacist mob destroyed a thriving black community. As Susan Ormiston tells us, Joe Biden took the moment to ask all Americans to reflect on the deep roots of racism in their country.
107, 103, 107 over there.
Just 3 survivors of the 1921 race massacre here in a parade to mark an historic, but until recently, hidden horror.
We have in our presence the treasures of Tulsa.
Viola Fletcher, part of living history.
I will never forget the violence of the white mob when we left our home. I still see black men being shot, black bodies lying in the street.
She was 7 when white Tulsans rampaged through a prosperous black community, burning, terrorizing, and murdering as many as 300 people.
We lost everything that day. No one cared about us for almost 100 years.
The city had deputized white vigilantes to attack the so-called Black Wall Street, to avenge an alleged crime, but motivated to brutally stamp out black success. This past weekend, a new prayer wall, parade, and today a visit, a first from a U.S. president.
What happened in Greenwood was an act of hate and domestic terrorism with the through line that exists today.
Biden pledged help for disadvantaged businesses and housing. Residents want more.
Mr. President, should there be an apology, a presidential apology for the massacre here in Tulsa?
Many demanding direct reparations, monetary amends, long resisted, including by Tulsa's mayor.
Getting into trying to make cash payments to people, it divides the community.
But Greenwood is rising, confident that America must reconcile with its racist legacy.
Some injustices are so heinous, so horrific, so grievous, they can't be buried.
And Hughes and Viola lived long enough to hear it. Susan Ormiston, CBC News, Washington.
Today also marks 1 year since Blackout Tuesday, and we take a look at what's changed.
A lot of leadership over the years has been recycled.
Millions of people called on companies to be more inclusive, but have businesses heeded that call? Plus, a Nova Scotia doctor comes up with a contraption that may look a bit frightful, but is preventing countless hospital injuries.
And the Montreal Canadiens are headed to Winnipeg for the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs.
And a painful night for Leafs fans. But a bet between friends made it even more painful for one Nunavut fan. We're back in 2. Welcome back. The Pride flag is being raised at hundreds of Catholic schools across Ontario, and some are welcoming the rainbow as a symbol of inclusion for LGBTQ students, but others say it doesn't belong there. Ellen Morrow has that story.
What does it mean to you, seeing the flag here?
You know, to me, it means hope for the future.
Hope grade 11 student Marcos Fonseca did not always have.
Thought about giving up, you know, taking my own life.
Fonseca is bisexual, has struggled with reconciling his sexual identity with his Catholic faith.
To see this flag tells me that, you know, we're heading towards a better future. You know, we can love who we want and we can be happy for who we are.
This Pride Month, several Catholic school boards across Ontario are flying the Pride flag for the first time.
How do you feel seeing it right there?
Oh, I think it's amazing.
Terry Finucane never thought it would happen. Finucane, who is gay, taught at Catholic schools for decades, hiding his sexual identity.
For so long, LGBTQ students and staff as well have been completely left out of the conversation. Just people pretended that they didn't exist.
But there's anger, too. This protest today at the Toronto Catholic School Board. Some parents and church leaders say flying the flag goes a step too far.
For them to say, well, I want to live a life according to what the Pride, the gay Pride flag and movement promotes, then says, well, I'm sorry, but that's not in line with our Catholic teaching.
In Halton, where the board voted against flying the flag, some parents want to see it at their kids' schools.
We as parents, we as allies, that we see you, that we care about you.
Fonseca says raising the pride flag does not diminish the school's Catholicism, it exemplifies it.
Being Catholic isn't about condemning others. It isn't about judging others. We need to love and accept each other, no matter who we are, no matter our differences, no matter what we do.
Ellen Morrow, CBC News, Toronto.
Many people have also been pushing for change, not just in schools, but inside boardrooms.
Never in my life have I seen such an awareness of the criticality and importance of diversity.
George Floyd's murder sparked a conversation about inclusion. What difference has it made at Canada's biggest companies? And for designer Aurora James, this is personal. She wants to see more Black-owned businesses on retail shelves. My conversation with James, next. Welcome back. It has been a year since people and companies turned their online profiles black in support of the Black Lives Matter movement. But Black Tuesday also faced some criticism for not going far enough to take on systemic racism, particularly when it came to the lack of Black executives and board members in companies. A year later, Jacqueline Hansen takes a look at how that is beginning to change.
On the outside, Bay Street has been unusually quiet over the past year, but behind the scenes, conversations about change are getting louder.
Never in my life have I seen such an awareness of the criticality and importance of diversity.
Lorianne Beausoleil is starting a new chapter. After almost 40 years, she left her job as a high-level corporate consultant to be on the boards of 4 companies.
There's not a more significant role that can have an impact for change than a board.
CBC News found over the past year, the number of Black board members on the top 100 companies listed on the TSX more than tripled to 26. That's an increase from 0.7% to just over 2%. The Black North Initiative is leading the charge to increase Black representation across all executive and board roles in Canada to 3.5% by 2025.
It's a goal that we want to reach, but it's one that we want to surpass.
More than 500 private and public companies, hospitals, universities, even student associations have signed Black North's pledge. Their goal is to reach 1,000 in the next year.
I'll tell you that the progress that's been made over the course of the last year, for me, especially as a Black Muslim woman who's a refugee, has been incredibly encouraging. Every other day I go on LinkedIn and I see a new announcement and I see a Black woman and I smile ear to ear because I'm saying to myself, that is me.
High-level hiring is still often limited to who people already know.
A lot of leadership over the years has been recycled because of that.
Last July, Jason Murray founded BIPOC Executive Search to help companies find more diverse talent.
We are doing the work to really make sure that we amplify voices that are often not heard at the table because it's needed and it's necessary if we're going to see change.
Beausoleil plans to do whatever she can to hold the door open behind her so more diverse leaders can follow.
And that would be the most powerful legacy I could have.
In hopes that the momentum of the past year is just the beginning. Jacqueline Hansen, CBC News, Toronto.
So that is how the corporate world has since responded. But as you'll remember, the racial reckoning in the wake of George Floyd's murder also sparked calls for action in the retail industry. Turning those calls into something concrete became the mission of one Canadian fashion designer, and she too created her own pledge. Aurora James founded the 15% Pledge 1 year ago. It started as an Instagram post asking major companies to step up and commit to giving Black-owned businesses a minimum of 15% of their shelf space, a symbolic number based on the percentage of Black Americans. But this nonprofit organization is about going beyond the symbols and getting companies to sign contracts. Over the past year, more than 24 have signed on, including 3 specifically in Canada, where the call focuses on businesses owned by people who are Black, Indigenous, and of color. And so for more on the 15% Pledge, 1 year later, Aurora James joins us from Los Angeles. So thank you, Aurora, for being with us tonight. And I'm curious, can you put me into where your mind was a year ago this week versus how you're feeling right now?
Yeah,
Thank you so much for having me on today. I can just tell you that a year ago was bleak for all of us, of course, given what was going on with the pandemic, but especially for Black Americans and BIPOC people in general. You know, I personally was seeing all of these emails and messages on social media from these major retailers that were saying, you know, I stand with you, I support Black Lives Matter. And while I was reading it, I wasn't necessarily feeling it. And so I really needed to ask myself, as, you know, a Black woman, as an entrepreneur, as a Canadian living in America, what would it really take for these major retailers to actually stand with me and really make sure that they are spending real dollars with Black businesses who can then in turn support Black workers and support Black communities?
So what was the response so far? What would you say the reaction has been?
So I have to tell you, I mean, it's been pretty incredible, and it has now been 1 year and 2 days. We've announced 25 major retailers across the United States and Canada. And through that work, which by the way are all contracts that these retailers sign with us, we are ensuring that now over $10 billion a year is going to be going to Black and BIPOC owned businesses across North America just by our pledge takers.
Can you walk us through what exactly are the companies doing, and tangibly what is that accomplishing?
So let's take Sephora Canada, for example. Sephora Canada has committed to stocking 25% of their shelf space with BIPOC-owned businesses. So what does that mean? That means that they're going to be working for the next several years, because this takes time, to actually seek out BIPOC-owned businesses across Canada and the US and get those businesses onto their shelf space so that you and I as consumers can then get them into our own shelf spaces at home. Oftentimes, you know, we hear these major retailers talk about, you know, female-owned businesses or Black-owned businesses or BIPOC-owned businesses being underrepresented. And really what we talk about at the Pledge is, if you look at Indigenously owned businesses, for example, not only are they underrepresented, they've actually been historically excluded. And so by doing this work, by these retailers committing to the 15% pledge, they are becoming really active to make sure that they are seeking out these entrepreneurs and making real investments in their businesses growing, and making sure that their consumers have a broader access to a whole slew of products that we've never been able to find before.
Are you having some uncomfortable conversations with retailers, though?
You know, there's a lot of retailers that don't understand why this is important, or, you know, really feel like, you know, well, you know, they'll say, we don't have that many Black customers in order to buy that many products from Black-owned businesses. And, you know, as someone who's been an entrepreneur myself, making products for the past 10 years, I always tell them, you know, it's not only Black people that buy products from Black people. So, you know, there's definitely a lot of learning that's happened along the way, and it's been a huge amount of emotional capital that I've had to expend over the past 12 months.
All right, Aurora James, thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
There are changes also happening on the medical front.
It is kind of surprising, and we didn't think about it before.
A new Canadian invention that seems rudimentary at first, but its clever design is preventing hospital injuries.
We've succeeded when we're out of business.
And switching roles, a few filmmakers put the cameras down and put the scrubs on to keep productions rolling. Stay with us. Welcome back. COVID-19 vaccines may be marvels of modern medical science, but for patients fighting to survive in hospital, one of the most effective treatments is surprisingly low-tech. It's called proning, literally turning a patient onto their stomach. But Tom Murphy explains it isn't as easy as it sounds, and that has turned one Halifax doctor into an inventor.
It is a medical maneuver that can save lives, so-called proning patients. Flipping them on their stomachs can improve oxygen flow to their lungs and reduce mortality by 50%. But actually doing it is not easy. Proning patients can take more than 45 minutes and as many as 8 staff to manage tubes and oxygen lines and safely prepare the patient. And then there's the heavy, often injury-inducing lift. It's bed sheets and brawn, and all too often, bad backs. Just ask a nurse like Eleanor Kelly.
Even young nurses say your back is sore. We've had people off on back injuries. I have friends who have retired that they have degenerative disc disease now because of the lifting.
Imagine your 300-pound friend is on the picnic table and will not help you move, and you have to do it. If you want to understand what our nurses have to do every day, imagine that challenge.
And for that very reason, intensive care physician Stephen Bede wonders if proning patients isn't done as often as maybe it should be.
But there's been large studies that show that it was only used in between 15 and 35% of the people that it would be appropriate for. It is a demanding but important intervention that's done relatively infrequently. It has to be partly because it's just hard, and that's what got me thinking.
And before long, a little homegrown COVID innovation kicked in. After years at the bedside, Dr. Bede had a concept in his head for a device to make proning easier, but he needed an engineer to begin to make it a reality. There were months of marking and measuring, pitfalls and prototypes, and it became a team effort.
I didn't know anybody that knew how to make things like this. But an old friend worked in canvas, works with the Coast Guard and the military, and he had commercial sewing machines.
Nurses gave their input, how to make the device comfortable for the patient. It had to be cleanable and allow access to the front and back of the patient. And in the end, with the help of some designers and engineers in Montreal, this is what they ended up with.
Extremely strong Velcro, and basically it is a two-piece blanket that attaches so that you end up with a method to open the back as well as the front.
Think burrito with Velcro straps. Yeah, it's not sexy, but it works. Remember the way nurses prone a patient now, the almost hour it takes to do it? Well, this new device, already on the bed when the patient arrives, hooks up to a hospital mechanical lift, which up until now could only hoist a patient up and down. It requires a fraction of the staff, and get this, only about 8 minutes to gently roll the patient over to the prone position or back again, and no nurses lifting.
My vision is that we will get to a point where nurses never lift again. That's what we need to do. We're using this to support our nursing colleagues through the COVID crisis, but they have a difficult job day to day, and we need to find a way to enable them to move patients but not injure themselves.
Oh, that would be a great world. I think it's possible. Like, when you think about it, it is kind of surprising, and we didn't think about it before.
Dr. Bede has a patent on his invention, a one-of-a-kind, he believes, and the device is now in clinical trials at Halifax's QE2 hospital, where you couldn't fault occupational health and safety lead Angela Keenan if she cringed every time a nurse lifted a patient.
It's the driver of our not only injury rates within the organization, but actually it's the #1 driver for our time loss claims as well for the organization. Game changer. Yeah, it's an innovative idea that's come from the front lines, from the experience of a frontline worker.
The front lines in the battle against COVID that might also help cure what has long ailed the healthcare system. Tom Murphy, CBC News, Halifax.
And on some production sets, entertainers are stepping up to keep the cameras rolling. A country musician one day, a nurse the next. Why a Windsrite wanted to swab instead of sing. Plus,
it hurts me that we lost.
Two friends make a bet over last night's historic NHL matchup. The loser left out in the cold. Stay with us. Welcome back. Canada's COVID-battered entertainment industry is cautiously optimistic about the summer, and not without reason. Despite theatre closures and tight border restrictions, production is actually picking up, thanks in part to 4 filmmaking friends with backgrounds in medicine. Eli Glasner explains.
This is a Stephen King story.
Pre-pandemic, this is where you'd find the team behind Pulsar UV, on set making movies in Canada. Now, the married couple and brother and sister from Windsor, Ontario, have a new role, keeping Canadian cameras rolling.
And action!
On the set of the film The Swearing Jar, lunch means time for testing, as the team works to ensure the crew is COVID-free.
We do about 80 tests per day, and we have the crew members come on in and the cast members, and we swab each one of them.
When the pandemic hit, the group switched to a new business based on their medical backgrounds.
2 of our members are nurses as well. So the nurses specifically wanted to figure out a way to help out.
You're good.
Pulsar UV began with sanitizing, but they quickly realized the demand for testing.
All the unions, SAG, ACTRA, DGC, DGA, they all have different requirements for testing. And with the film industry, it's a chaotic environment.
As movie makers themselves, they can cut through that chaos.
We're able to speak with directors, producers, line producers in their language, and we know how to read a call sheet.
Pre-pandemic, Kelsey Main also had a growing country music career. But when the coronavirus began to spread, she turned back to nursing.
When you have a positive test, it can be instant panic and anxiety, and to be that person that helps to guide that person to the next step, it's a pretty rewarding.
They get tested 3 times a week, even the producer joking about the so-called COVID cop who reminds her of the rules.
He goes around every time he catches me without my goggles on. He's like, Jane.
But she says those rigorous safety protocols are helping the Canadian industry thrive.
I feel like we're proving ourselves, and I feel like it's just going to get bigger and better.
While the people behind Pulsar would love to return to filmmaking,
We actually have said we've succeeded when we're out of business.
All right, shall we shoot?
with COVID still in the picture, those dreams will have to wait. Eli Glasner, CBC News, Dundas, Ontario.
Next on The National, good friends but also rivals anxious about the outcome of a Game 7 bet.
Right after the game, I got my fishing equipment ready.
The cold ending of a friendly fight. Our moment is next. But first, now most people confronted with this, a bear with her cubs, would of course turn the other way quietly. But not this teenage girl in California, not when her dogs were in danger. Surveillance video posted by the 17-year-old's mom shows the girl pushing the bear off the fence, then running to safety with the dog. She is being hailed a hero by some of the millions of people who've watched that video online. These 2 friends in Rankin Inlet, Nunavut, are both huge hockey fans, but here's a complication. They cheer for 2 different teams. One, obviously, for the Leafs, one for the Habs, creating the perfect rivalry for Game 7. So that rivalry turned into a bet, and tonight the results make up our moment.
This bet idea came out where another guy made a bet with another Montreal player about fishing on a lake where there's no fish. Me and Wendell just started talking about it, and so we decided, let's shake hands on it.
I was really disappointed and even ready to quit the Maple Leafs. I love them still, so kind of hurts me that we lost.
Right after the game, I got my fishing equipment ready, and the whole community came out. There was probably 109 vehicles lining up to watch what was going on in the middle of the lake there, and sat down for 2 hours and fished for the whole 2 hours. So that was pretty amazing. Another friend of ours who's a diehard Habs fan had a flag. He sent me a text, come get my flag. So I ran over and grabbed it and tried to hand it to Wendell here so he can convert to the Mighty Habs there, but he wouldn't do it.
Yeah, no hard feelings.
We're family too, so that bond will never be broken.
I love that 100+ people showed up to watch this. So initially, Jonathan wanted the loser to sing a Justin Bieber song. Justin Bieber's a huge Leafs fan, and then put it on YouTube, but nobody wanted to do that. So Wendell's idea is that next year, They don't just fish on the lake that has no fish, they stay out there all night long. I'm not sure anyone's going to want to do that either. That is the National for June the 1st. Good night.